Hey there, my friend. I did not become a nonfiction Christian writing coach because I planned on it. I became a writing coach because I just couldn't stand watching people stay stuck when I see that God has given them a message. Hey there, I'm Shonda Whitworth, and I am a Christian nonfiction writing coach. And the New York Times says that 81% of the people want to write a book, but only 6% ever finish a manuscript, and actually just 1% ever publish. My mission here is to help you rise into that 1%. The real reason I coach writers has nothing to do with a business plan or a strategy, but it has everything to do with a calling. Now, let me share with you why. Let's go back to when this actually started because it wasn't a strategy, it was obedience. You can't unsee something once God opens your eyes to it. I kept meeting people with powerful messages, but they get frozen with fear, overwhelm, perfectionism, or simply just not knowing how to start. But here's something I know deep in my spirit. This is something I know just because I see it. Books outlive us. All right? They last long after we're gone. Books can go places we cannot go. You look at that map behind me. How many countries have you been to? How many countries do you think you can travel to in your lifetime? Books minister long after we're gone. All right? Look at my own book, Appeal to the Courtroom of Heaven. This book 44,000 copies went out in print and it was sent into 1,200 prisons. That was a divine appointment by God. I could have never imagined anything like that. God did more than I could think or imagine. God opened the door for it to go into those 1,200 prisons. Let me be honest with you. I don't think I could ever visit 1,200 prisons in my lifetime. But that message went without me. It went into prisons, and the books get read over and over and over again by those inmates. And that message is being spread. The gospel is being spread without me. And that's what happens when we steward our stories. I'm not here to start a coaching program. I didn't come here to start a coaching program. I just simply answered God's call. And he kept sending writers to me. And I thank God for that. First one, then four more. I have small intentional groups. Why? Because the results matter. All right. If you've ever felt afraid to write your story, I get it. Every Christian writer battles fear. There's not a single one I've ever met, even the ones that have large platforms that I've ever met, that they don't have fear. There's all kinds of fears that we battle. Fear of being seen, fear of being judged, fear of not being enough. I mean, we read about those in the Bible. We read about Gideon. He's one of the favorite ones. Like he was so afraid, he was hiding in the wine press, all right? The angel of the Lord showed up and called him, "You mighty man of valor." There's others too that I share about that they didn't think they were good enough. Moses didn't think he was good enough. When God called him to go back and lead the people out of Egypt, he was like, "Who, me? I stutter. I don't know that I could share a message. There's just no way." We've all been like that. Those heroes of our faith that we read about in the Bible, that we read about in the Word, they're there to encourage us. They weren't just some superhero until after they did what God asked them to do. And so we could be like that. We could be God's superheroes. We're not going to be recorded in the Bible because that's already done, but we've got other books to write and our testimonies to share. I used to think I had nothing worth saying, but God showed me otherwise. Breakthrough doesn't come from having confidence, it comes from obedience. It's taking that one small step, then another small step. And with each step, our confidence grows. But we have to first step out with courage. And then courage will turn into confidence. Step out in courage. And every time we do, it will take more courage. All right. Now, I know there's a cost to staying silent. I've learned this. Silence serves no one because I know somebody is praying for the very answer that God has placed inside your story. When we hide our messages, the enemy rejoices. Why? Because silence is a weapon that he loves. He loves to use silence against us. Revelation 12:11 says, they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony. Jesus did his part. Now we do our part. We share our testimony. The silence is the enemy of letting, silence is the enemy. All right. So instead of letting him silence us, let's silence him. I know what it's like to freeze. I know what it's like to overthink. I know what it's like to feel unqualified. Let me tell you, I have overthought things for so many years, but I'm done overthinking. I didn't overthink this video. I just turned on record. I know what it feels like to feel trapped. That's why I refuse to let other writers stay silent. I want to come alongside of you and help you release your message. I'm not here to edit your chapters or to teach you all the writing structure. Yes, I can do that in the coaching program. I can teach you that. But my first step is to help get you unstuck. That's why I wrote the book, Unlock the Writer Within, because we got to unlock the writer that's inside of you. All right? Writing is discipleship, writing is obedience, writing is deliverance. Helping someone finish their book is helping them step into who God says they are. Let's release your message. I'm here to release messengers. Are you a messenger? Yes, you are. Everybody has a testimony. I remember a long time ago going walking with a friend, going hanging out with her, and she told me, she goes, I don't know if I can write a book because I don't have your kind of testimony. I haven't overcome the things that you've overcome. And, she was like, I haven't had the trials you've had. I've actually had a pretty good life. I haven't had all the adversities that you've faced. Actually, I've had a pretty good life. I said, everybody has a testimony. You don't have to have overcome tragic things. You can have normal, everyday things that we overcome, and you have a testimony. Everybody's story has power. So if you feel God nudging you to write, but fear and overwhelm keeps pulling you backwards, just keeps pulling you back, I want to help you take the next step. All right. I recorded a free 20-minute training on how to unlock your author authority because you have authority. Jesus came and gave you authority to share your message. You have author, the word author is in authority. And you can go from stuck to finally published. This video walks you through simple steps to get unstuck, gain clarity, and move toward a finished manuscript. The link is below in the description. If you want to go watch it, I encourage you to watch it because I'm here to help you get your message out. And when you finally share the message that God has entrusted to you, your story becomes someone else's breakthrough. And that, my friend, is how you'll rise to the 1%.